Hey, we're a day late and probably $1 short, but that's okay because we don't get any dollars anyway. We're just Hafeman bros doing this for your benefit for you. Hey, Ben, one quick thing. I watched a little bit of a Bears because it's Packer Bear week coming up, right? And I watched a little bit of, like this Bears channel guy, people, a couple guys on YouTube talking about the Bears stuff. And I was like, okay, and they had like a still, and it was like this guy making these big eyes and like this graphic, and like it was something exciting, whatever. And I go to watch it, and it was the most boring crap. I mean, these guys are so boring. Like, is that what you're supposed to be? Is that what people want? They just want you to sit here and be like, yeah, the Packers did this. Let's look at this play. It's very fun to talk about that and blah 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 blah. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I don't want to listen to that crap. Give me some emotion. Do something. Be exciting or something. Like, tell me you care, man. Why do you do videos and get thousands of views when you're just boring and say stuff like that?
Because there's probably only one Bears show. People don't have any choice. Where the Packers there's like 27 shows.
I do give Bears people credit. I mean, they gotta, if you do a show about the Bears every week, that's kind of like punishment, right? I mean,
I think do a show about the Packers is punishment.
Oh,
I'm just gonna say it.
Oh no! Don't be all negative and upset. Come on, the 4-1.
I can't help it. I'm not.
You're not.
I don't want to get into it right now.
All right,
go ahead. Let's do it. We're doing the show. Let's go.
Let's do it. All right. Well, I have a couple of interesting plays that I wanted to look at, and I'm sorry they relate to the offensive line. One's an offensive line play. One's actually field goal protection. Field goal protection, which apparently the Packers do not know how to do. They're professionals. They somehow, this is stuff you're taught like when you first start practicing football, when you're in middle school, or whenever you start to kick a football for extra points, you're taught this stuff. And I want to go through just a couple of pointers on that, just a couple of little things. It's really confusing that the Packers don't know how to do this because they're professionals and they have professional coaches who focus on this stuff. And it's been a problem, and it's still a problem. And I don't know. I do think a couple of those protection things, and teams are going to keep attacking it, by the way. I'll point it out in a minute. But some of those protection things maybe getting in Mason's head a little bit too, if there's guys always coming from that right side. So anyway, you think that's not why you missed the kick, but we'll take a look. And then there's a thing about Royce Newman. I just don't understand it. I don't get it. But I want to show a Royce Newman play, and I want to pose the question, a very important question to you, Ben, and anyone that watches the video. And if anyone can give me a decisive answer to that question that makes sense, then I will back off Royce Newman. But if you cannot, then I will not back off Royce Newman. That's what I got tonight. What do you got?
I got a bunch of videos. Well, 4 or 5 anyways.
4 or 5? Okay.
I had the 2 touchdowns scored in the red zone against us because we are the worst team in the history of all time as far as keeping guys out of the end zone.
That was a bad stat.
When they get into the red zone.
I didn't realize that stat. Bad.
Yeah.
Very
bad. It's pretty bad. I've got, let's see. I have the second and third down plays of the first drive. After Aaron Jones ran the ball 3 times and got him down to the 42-yard line or whatever it was, because he was awesome, and the offensive line did okay. And he got first down, big run. Next time, big run, first down. Then it was 1st and 10, and he only got 3 yards. So they're like, oh, can't run it again. We better pass it now. And then I had that play, and I had the play right after. And, of course, they led to 0 yards and 0 yards. So, well, actually, a sack. No, 0 yards. So he threw the ball away again. So we're going to look at those 2 plays. And then that's about it.
Can we talk really boringly while we watch them and then try to increase our viewership?
Sure, I can do that.
Okay, that sounds like a great idea. Just be super boring.
Lee's here. He says, "Our,
Oh, hey, how you
you know,
doing?
I'll say this: whenever we go live, it doesn't show up on our feed thing. I don't know why is that. We got to fix that. Like it
Well,
doesn't. It does warn me though. It'll say, "Hey, Hafeman
it
Bros
should,
going live."
yeah,
But
it should alert people if they got their notifications on. It should alert them that we're on. That should happen.
okay,
Let me see what else is going on here real quick. All right, let me go back to this so I can see. Hey, Lee, how you doing? You're not late. We're just getting into it, Lee. We're kind of late. Let's see. Yeah, didn't show up on the sub feed thing. I'm not sure why either. You know, it is interesting though. It's like with the live videos, they won't show up in certain spots until they've been processed for a while or something. I don't get it. But you should get something. I mean, it should show up. But anyway, if it's not showing up, turn on your notifications like Lee, smart person, and then you get to know we're on. I don't think mom and dad are going to know we're on tonight. I forgot to send them a text, so that's okay. All right, let's get through some stuff here. You want to go through some of your plays, or should I go through my field goal play? Or do you want me to start off with a bang and show you the Royce Newman play and try to figure out what's going on here? Let's start up. Let's do that. Let's do that.
you're in charge, man. I'm just here.
All right, Royce Newman play. Let's talk about Royce Newman. Remember, I've told you it's kind of rough. He somehow won the starting right guard job. We don't know why. He doesn't seem to perform that well. He does a lot of puzzling things to me. A lot of puzzling things. I don't quite get it. I'm not sure. And the other part I don't get is the coaches watch the film and the players watch the film and they see these puzzling things. And then he still does the same puzzling things week to week. I don't get it. Okay, so let's take a look at one play. Just what I mean, he had some okay plays and he had some bad plays. And that's fine for rookies. I understand we want to say rookies are going to have their ups and downs, but then maybe he shouldn't be starting. Okay, that's one thing I want to point out. All right, let me get this here share figured out. All right, because I did this this screen capture so we wouldn't get flagged, but Ben's gonna maybe flag us anyway, so it's okay. All right, take a look at
Bernard. What's up, Bernard?
Hey, Bernard, how you doing? Okay, this is a 3rd down and 10 play. It is 22-22. 3rd down and 10. 4th quarter, 2 minutes 20 seconds to go before Mason Crosby missed the 36-yard field goal.
And after Aaron Jones made the play of the game that everybody seems to have forgotten. I have that play too. I changed my mind. I have 5 plays.
Made a crazy awesome play.
Greatest play I've ever seen so far this season.
And all of a sudden the Packers were like,
nobody remembers it.
And they were like, oh, well, maybe we'll relax here a little bit, or I don't know what we're going to do. Anyway, so it got to 3rd and 10. Now, let's just take a look at what happens here. This is Royce. This is Lucas Patrick just snapping the ball right now. Okay. Aaron Rodgers in shotgun. Jones here. You guys, the receivers out here. Royce Newman is your right guard right here. Right here. Royce Newman. Okay. Let's see what happens next with Mr. Royce, because I don't understand what he's doing. Oh, now you're not going to do it? Oh, you dirty dog. Oh, wait, I got to get back to this. Sorry. All right, guys, zoom out a second, then I can flip my thing. All right, and you know where he is. Oh, I went the wrong way. Here we go. Let's go back. Go off to a great start. All right, here is the next frame. All right, you see Royce Newman right here. Look, he's manned up. Guy in front of him. Guy over Billy Turner here. This looks pretty scary. One-on-one. Yo, Lucas Patrick is helping out this way because we got guy over here. Runyon was having a rough game. We got Robert Tunyon helping out Yash over here. We got Jones over here. I don't know. Maybe that's also a problem. Why in the hell is everybody helping out Yash and Runyon and nobody's helping out Royce Newman and Billy Turner? I don't understand that part either, but that's just a side note to think about. But here's Royce. Let's just talk about Mr. Royce here. Here he is. All right. He's looking in good shape, right? He's got the guy manned up. Let's go. Let's go. Damn, where my pictures go? I got to get to. Oh, well, here we go. Here we go. All right. Nope, too far. Can you see what I'm seeing, Ben? Is it advancing? Is it different? Is it a different picture? Is it a different picture?
Yeah, this is the 3rd one, I think.
Okay.
Because the receivers are still in the picture. The next picture, all the receivers are somehow not in the picture anymore.
Okay. So it's 3rd and 10. All the receivers have to get at least 10 yards downfield for you to do anything anyway. These guys are not even close. You know, they're like 7 yards downfield. Randall Cobb's running a real short route here on the bottom. Okay. Nobody else is downfield yet. All right, here's Royce. Now you saw the last spot where he was head up on the guy and he was looking in good position. Now, what in the hell is he doing right now?
I don't know, but his feet are together. They're not
He,
apart, which means he can be pushed one way or the other really easily. And he's not using his body correctly to shield off the defender. He's just going to be like a walking stick and easy to get around or push around.
now, if you watch the video, when the play was first snapped, Lucas Patrick looked his way, saw he was manned up on a guy, went left. Okay, Royce Newman knew I have this guy. Royce Newman at this point of the play, where nobody's past the first down marker yet, Royce Newman is turning to look at Billy Turner. And after blocking his guy for less than a second, decides to just, there he is. Oh, here he is. There he is. A little man up play here, right? Man up. All right, let's go. This is what he does. Now he's turning looking. His feet are in a weird spot. His
feet are in a really weird spot because his left foot is actually behind his right foot, and over a little bit to the right. That's not good.
The reason why is because he's abandoning his guy. Look at him. He's like, I'm just gonna turn now and see. I'll go help out Billy Turner. See how Billy's doing over here. Because I blocked my guy for half a second. Look at him. What in the hell is he doing?
Well, that's pretty bad. But also, Yash is already beat.
Yes, but
so Yash really doesn't matter.
Yash is still pushing his guy around. He's still engaging. And even Billy Turner is still at least engaged with his guy. Now, Rodgers took a big shot on this play, and it's all because, and right now he's got to get rid of that ball because the guy's coming up the gut right at him and going to hammer him. And it's all because of Royce Newman. I don't understand what in the hell that was and what he was thinking. There's nobody to pass that guy off to. Why is he blocking his guy for 1 second? Not even 1 second. And then just turning here and just, hey, go ahead. My quarterback's right there. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm going to help out Billy Turner over here. Well, maybe not. I'll just kind of stand here and look at him and put my hands out. What is it? Anybody have an explanation or an answer on 3rd and 10? You block for a half second, and then you turn your guy loose in the middle? Jesus. I just can't take it.
It's not good.
I just can't take it. Oh, God. Okay.
That's not good.
Bernard's pointing out he had Jones open. He needed 10 yards. Jones was starting out blocking Bernard and then it went out in the flat.
Yeah.
And the reason he got to go out is because they had all those guys blocking on the left side and only Billy Turner and Royce Newman on the right side. That's probably the first mistake is that, no, we should have had everybody helping out on the right side. Because what the hell is that? Anybody in the history of the world can answer that with a reasonable answer and turn me around on it. Good luck. Put it in the chat or put it in a comment on this video later. I just don't understand.
Nobody can.
Okay. All right.
Because it makes no sense.
That's the one I wanted to go over first. All right. Show some plays. What do you got? The Packers won. We'll remind you the Packers won against the Bengals by the skin of their teeth. So old Mason Crosby missing some kicks and finally making a kick. And
it would seem that the Packers didn't win based on what we're cranking about, but I agree. I agree with everything you're saying. There's a lot of problems. You're not gonna like the stuff I'm pointing out because you're pointing out problems with the offensive line. I'm gonna point out a problem with our quarterback.
Okay.
So, and I know I'm gonna lose people. They're gonna get mad at me.
Oh, don't get mad.
This is the first drive. There's 12:24 left in the first quarter. It's 0-0. Aaron Jones just had 2 huge first down runs, and then on first, they got first downs. They got him to the 42-yard line. Or no, 45-yard line. And then he had a first down carry for 3 yards. Now it's 2nd and 7. And hey, let's do a play action play. I think that's a smart move. It's a very smart move. And if you look here, these are our receivers on the play. Randall Cobb, Alan Lazard, Devontae down here. And this is DeGuara. Okay. And we're going to watch what DeGuara does. DeGuara takes this guy's legs out. I don't know if that's a penalty or not. I can't remember. I guess he's in front of him, so I guess it's not. It's a chop block that's illegal because he's not engaged with anybody and he's in front of him, so he can see him coming, I guess.
Huh.
But he does that.
All right.
Okay. And in doing so, Randall Cobb is here. We can't really see. El Nazar's up there. Okay, whatever. But it's second down at 7. We don't need that many yards, right? The first down marker is the 35-yard line, which is right here. So let's see what happens as we go on. Okay. The Bengals have only 4 guys rushing. There's a corner over here who's not going to be covering anybody. Maybe he's looking out for Jones on the side, right? We can't see what's going on past the scrimmage here, or past the first down marker. And DeGuara is still laying on the ground, but he's going to get up, and there's all this space here. But Rodgers isn't looking at him because he fell down, which is fine. Okay. Now what do we see? We see a Bengal here. We see Aaron Jones over here. Now, I don't expect Rodgers to look back and see Aaron Jones. That's not what I expect. But there's a lot of corners and stuff in the way here. This guy is going to be covering. Devontae is past. You can't see him. There's a guy on him. He's covered, and this linebacker's in the way. But I want to remind everyone it's second and 7. And I know DeGuara fell down. But how about if he just maybe peek back? Just peek back and see if maybe he got back up. I don't know. But he never does. He just keeps his eyes on Devontae. Well, Devontae is double covered. There's a linebacker right here. And there's a guy chasing down Rodgers. And all you need, it's second down. Just throw it underneath right here. Or throw it like over here and have him move toward it, but throw it lightly. And then maybe he gets 3-4 yards, or maybe he breaks a tackle and gets a first down. Who knows, right? Even at this point, where this guy's getting close to him, he's still looking for Devontae to get open. Devontae's not going to get open. But look here. There's a big, slow, fat guy following DeGuara. Just throw it right here. DeGuara will catch it. Ball, get a couple yards. But instead, we get this. And that time he was looking at Devontae. Or actually, I don't know if he's looking at Devontae and Randall Cobb, or I don't know what was going on in that play.
Yeah, they seem to be in the same.
But just take the check down. It's the first drive. I know they called it's second down, so he's probably thinking, hey, let's take a shot. Let's take a shot here. Let's take a deep shot because it's second down.
Right.
And I get it, but they covered it. Okay? They covered it. So take the check down. Get the ball out in rhythm. It's not that hard. But Rodgers has got to be the superhero.
Did it look like DeGuara was going for a chop block, or he slipped there and went to the ground?
I don't know, but he slipped earlier on the same drive when he was blocking for Aaron Jones. It's like either the first big run by Aaron Jones or the second one. I don't know exactly which one it was, but
because that seems like one of the staple plays where the tight end comes across formation, starts the block for a second, then leaks out in the flat on the rollout. Yeah. And if he went to the ground, I get that is. He did get back up to his credit, but it's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of weird. But anyway, Rodgers had enough time because guys weren't. I mean, everybody's standing around in that play. The offensive lineman, the defensive lineman, most of them were just standing around. So he had enough time to like reassess the field there. He's not going to throw it, like you said, all the way across the field back against the grain to Jones. But
that's crazy.
DeGuara, potentially, yeah,
get a couple yards, but he doesn't do it.
Yeah.
Now here's the very next play. And the reason why I bring it up is because this is what makes no sense to me. We have 5 offensive linemen. We have 4 down linemen. We have this corner who could maybe blitz because he's playing up right on Devontae. But this guy is 5 yards, 4 yards off. This guy's 5 yards off. This guy's 5 yards off. And remember last week I showed you a play where there were 6 guys on the line of scrimmage and only 5 blockers, and Aaron Rodgers didn't bring anybody in to help? Well, with 11 seconds on the play clock, watch what he does. He changes things. He tells Aaron Jones to come in. He then changes the blocking protection for reasons I don't know. Okay, now DeGuara gets a chip here on Yash. Aaron Jones has got his head waiting. He's not even going in a route right now. He's just waiting to see who needs help to help him out. There's still only 4 guys rushing. Why is it that last week when there was 6 guys, he doesn't bring in protection to help? And then now when there's only 4 guys rushing, and 7 guys in coverage, then he brings in guys to help. It's almost like he has no idea what's going on. Also, here's Devontae trying to juke this guy. And guess who Rodgers is going to look at? But here's the thing that's really weird. What's nice about this is Aaron Jones and DeGuara both sneak out here and sneak out here, which takes these two linebackers out of the play. Up here, you have a route combination. This here is Randall Cobb. He just goes straight and takes out this guy and takes out the safety. There's also a safety deep back over here you can't see on the screen. Allen Lazard runs to the first down marker and does an in cut. And he's open. He's open. Okay? And Rodgers is looking over this way only to trick the safeties. I don't know if he thought it was a single high safety or what. It's not. There's two safeties deep. Okay, as we go further, he is now looking at the safeties. He's not even looking at any of his receivers, which is fine. That's what you should do. But based on what we see here, the two linebackers are still undercover here, right? You got your guy running straight here. This guy's letting Lazard go. Okay. Now on this play, or at this point, his head is now over here at Devontae. Based on the route combination, I understand there's a linebacker. So you have to throw it over the top of him. But if he threw it now to this hash mark, that's a first down because the safety is being taken away here and the other safety is worried about Devontae on an in cut. But Rodgers is too busy looking at Devontae Adams instead of running the play and the route combination that works to get Allen Lazard open. The ball should be thrown now. It would be caught now. It would be a first down. But it's not. And then look at this. And Lazard should have just done an in route. Why is he way like 5 yards deep? There's nobody here. Here you got DeGuara standing. Here you got Aaron Jones just standing here. They're 15 yards from the first down marker. What are they going to do? Now, that was Rodgers changing the play to these guys just doing that and him going and taking a shot. And then what happened? This is the play where the guy tripped him. They didn't call it. It was bull crap right here.
Yeah, why don't they call it?
Should have been a tripping call. He had to throw the ball away. And then why are all three receivers in the same spot there? You had only three guys in the route. And at the end of the play, all three of them were at the exact same spot. It doesn't make sense.
These things are correctable, but what drives me crazy sometimes about the Packers offensive play is like perfect example right there. They're not utilizing a big chunk of the field. There's nobody there. There's nobody in the middle there. Were you at the first down marker? There's nobody on the outside of the first down marker. There's nobody in the middle. I mean, what are you doing?
What I would do is have DeGuara like this, have Aaron Jones do it out, route, cut, and then in, like he did a couple weeks ago. But have a start in the backfield. And I know people are going to be like, that's Madden, you idiot. I play Madden. There's one route in Madden where the running back comes out and then comes in. They call it a jerk route or whatever it is. He comes out like this, and then he goes like this. It's open every time, almost, especially when you have a tight end or a crossing route over here. And then running back comes out, sneaks like this, like he's going to the flat, and then cuts back in. You could have DeGuara go to the flat. You could have Aaron Jones come and go like this, and he's open. Or Lazard was open. And then somehow by the end of this play, they're all over here. All three of them are right here. 1, 2, 3. There's like a triangle of 10 yards that all three guys are at. Like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. It's 3rd and 7. And why is everybody in the same spot 20 yards? Well, I guess it's only 15 yards downfield, but it's dumb. It's dumb. And it bothers me because I am a fan of this team. I love the Packers. I love the players on this team. Last year, we watched Robert Tonyan catch 11 touchdowns. We saw him catch all but one pass thrown his way for the most part. That was a catchable ball. He is grossly underutilized. Grossly. Like, I can't even explain how pathetic it is. I watched that game on Monday night, parts of it. I just watched the replay again. And Andrews is getting so many balls thrown his way. It's ridiculous. I mean, nonstop. They find ways to get that guy open. And Robert Tonyan catches one pass for 8 yards on a play where he was actually covered and Rodgers had to scramble a little bit on 3rd down to get the first down. That was it. One catch, 8 yards. And I know everybody loves Devontae. He's so great. He's the best receiver in the league. Even though when he catches a touchdown pass and drops it, apparently it's a touchdown. Where a week before a guy catches a touchdown pass and then apparently drops it, even though he didn't, I told you last week, that's not a touchdown. But Devontae, if that was in the field of play, that's a fumble or it's just incomplete. Because usually you have to make some sort of effort, right? Like a play, a motion or whatever it is, a football motion. I know it's in the end zone, so the end zone's different. So a guy could just catch it and then there you go, right? Okay, I understand that. But it wasn't a touchdown for Aaron Jones, but it is for Devontae. Whatever. What I'm saying is there's other guys on this team. And we can barely squeak out a win against the Bengals. We can't score in the red zone. We have to keep settling for field goals constantly. And then our kicker missed 3 of them. The guy, he attempted 6 field goals. 6 field goals.
7, I think. He was 4 out of 7, right? Yeah, 4 out of 7.
4 out of 7.
4 out of 7, and
that's a waste. Extra point. So we have Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon move the ball downfield, and then we go pass, and turn it over.
Now,
kick a field goal.
Hold on. Now, they did some running inside, and they actually ran on like first and second down sometimes, but that was when Dillon was in. On a couple of drives where they got in scoring position, where they ended up kicking a field goal, it was like they went first down run, second down run to Dillon, and then third down pass and couldn't get it, and then they had to kick. And I was like, okay, why does Matt LaFleur not understand who's in the game again? Or what the heck's going on? Because like, why wouldn't I'm sorry, maybe it's just me, but I would think if you gave Aaron Jones 2 cracks at it, you'd have a better chance of success than AJ Dillon 2 cracks at it in a row. Just
well, you know what else?
Just me. I mean, I don't know.
How about since we're new red zone, let's take a look at something here real quick.
All right. Bernard points out we are missing MVS, and that yes, because they attacked all that short stuff, like Awuzie or whatever. He looked like a rock star. He looked like, man, I wish we signed him in the offseason because he was kicking. I know Devontae had 200 yards and all this, but he was kicking the crap out of Devontae and like all their short passes, like he was all over it. Those other guys were attacking the flats and those quick passes like right away.
The other thing is, can we please abandon the wide receiver / Aaron Jones wide receiver screen? Because it never works.
Yeah.
Alan Lazard can't block anybody on those plays.
We know the only
Zay
one
Brown doesn't block.
The big dog one is the only one that works for screens.
But that was an actual screen pass. That's different. When the offensive linemen, even though they don't block anybody, they're a lot bigger and they get in the way and kind of slow, like they do something. But these quick hitches where Lazard is supposed to, because here's the thing that's different about it is this. An offensive lineman can immediately engage in a block, okay, and not worry if the ball's in the air and they can still be engaged in a block with the ball in the air. A wide receiver can be engaged with a block on a running play. If it's a passing play, they cannot engage in a block while the ball is in the air, or it's a penalty. So because of that, you watch Alan Lazard and St. Brown in this game. They have to kind of run a route for a second before they can go and block the guy, because otherwise it's a penalty, right? You can't block a guy when the ball is in the air. You can't block them until they catch it. So because of that, these guys are not athletic, jukey enough to adjust to these quick corners who read it immediately and go after the ball. Alan Lazard doesn't make the blocks. And then they had a play they ran for Alan Lazard, was the same thing. And what happened? St. Brown totally whiffed on his guy, and Lazard got tackled for a 2-yard loss. And then they try to put Aaron Jones out there and like, oh, Aaron Jones is a better running back. Maybe he'll get through. No, because guys, he can't get going. There's nobody blocks for him. It's ridiculous. So this, I'm showing a screen here, right? Okay. I don't know if you want something else you want to say about that sort of thing, wide receiver screens. I just think they're dumb. They're dumb. Can we stop it, please? The run pass options where there's Devontae over there all by himself and there's a guy 8 yards off of him. Fine. I'm okay with that because I've seen Devontae catch the ball, juke a guy, and then go for 10 yards. I've seen that happen. But tell me a time when you watched a wide receiver screen where the guy's actually blocked for somebody and they got yards. It never happens. The one time last week against the Steelers, Devontae did it, but nobody blocked for him. He just made 3 guys miss and then got like 8-9 yards. It wasn't like the play didn't work. The player made it work. Devontae made it work. And he's a good player. That's something I don't want people to think I hate Devontae Adams. I think he's a good player. I'm just saying you cannot throw the ball 20 times to a receiver and expect to win. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not going to fly. There'll be some coaches that will take that away. And I mean, you hear like the commentaries and stuff afterwards, people doing highlights are like, why aren't these teams just committing to take away Adams? You know, he wants to throw to Adams. It's just, I mean, Tony Dungy was talking about it on Sunday night and all this other stuff. And it's like, yeah, but some coaches will. And then what are you gonna do? Like it's not a good trend. Those screenplays, it's been a few years since we've had. Well, actually, sorry, I'm going to credit Eckes here. It's probably been since we had Kumaro as one of the guys blocking and stuff like that since they actually worked. Now, part of that is teams don't sit back anymore because they see it coming and they shoot through because they're like, screw it. If they shoot through and miss, they're hoping at least guys behind them will be able to recognize, they'll slow it down enough that they'll be able to recognize and make the play. But a lot of times they're shooting through and you got St. Brown in front blocking. It's not going to go well. And that's a whole nother side note, just to quickly point out, like, why the hell so much St. Brown? Somebody needs to explain that to me. Way too much St. Brown. Malik Taylor can hardly get on the field, but that guy's out there all the time. What has he shown you? What has he shown you in a game? When?
Nothing.
He showed a couple of things, maybe as a rookie, but not really.
He was never good.
Then he was hurt for a whole year, and then he was bad last year, and he's bad now. Like,
he didn't make the initial 53 for a reason, because he's not good. I don't know why he's even made the practice squad.
He can't catch.
Fourth year, no.
He can't catch. He can't block. He's not fast. What?
He's useless.
What does he do for you?
Nothing.
I don't get it.
Well, and here's something I was going to show. So there's the two plays in the red zone, the two scoring plays against our defense can show what the Packers maybe could do a little bit. Okay. And I know people are going to say, well, this is a rub play and we can get called for a penalty. Okay. Well, the Bengals didn't get called for a penalty on this play. Okay. So if they don't, maybe we should do some rub plays to get in the end zone. Yeah. I don't know. Because guess what? This was one of their first touchdowns, I think. This is early on in the game. And when you watch it, and I'm sure everybody's seen this, but look at that. I mean, it's not a secret. Chase is going straight at Amos. Straight at him. Just takes him right out of the play. And they're playing man.
Did you share? I don't see it.
Oh, I didn't share it?
I don't think so. I don't see it. Go back.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I shared it already. I thought I was looking at this whole time.
Let's see. Bernard says, go hard on Rodgers. Zero's in the house. How you doing? Zero kicking everybody's butt in fantasy. Nice work.
I suck.
My team's terrible. All right, now I see it.
Okay. Well, anyways, he started off over here, and then he just went, and these two guys are lined up kind of a little bit, like, I don't know. Here, let's hang on. I'll go back a second.
Before you go, really quick.
Yeah.
I just have a simple question for Packers fans. Now, when you see the Packers like in a situation like this, and I understand there's 10 yards of end zone you have to protect and cover, and okay. But if the guys get to the goal line, it is a touchdown. So do you want to stop them from getting to the goal line ever? Or what the hell is the defensive approach here? I just don't get it. It is a lot harder to throw the ball over the top of a defender and drop it in within that little 10-yard bucket and complete a pass like that than it is to complete a pass in front of you when you're backing up into the end zone. Drives me up a wall. I don't understand it. I don't understand defensive coaches and defensive players when this is how they play around the goal line. You need to stop them from getting to the goal line. If you don't, it's a freaking touchdown. Sorry.
Well, the thing is, there's a couple things wrong here. This is man, okay? But even if it was zone coverage, there's an issue because of all this space here on this side of the field, because they have Jamar Chase so close to the offensive lineman that there's nobody there to help. Like and that's why Stokes is worried, because if this is an out route, he's got to cover that. If it's a deep pylon route, he's got to cover that. Like, he has zero help. His only help is to the inside. So technically, he should really be here, and Amos should be where he is. Period. And then that way, and they should be playing man, but it should be like man changing. You know what I mean? Like, depending on what happens. If Chase goes to the outside, then Stokes covers him. If Chase goes to the inside, Amos takes away the slant. But that's not what they're playing. They're playing straight up man with him lined up right in line with Chase and Amos lined up right in line with the running back. Who do you think's faster, a running back or Adrian Amos? I'm pretty sure it's a running back. I'm pretty sure this guy might score even if Chase doesn't get a piece of him.
They just handed it to him. He might score it before you get there.
This is part of the problem is they're playing weird. Like, I don't understand the concept here. The help is to the inside. And that's where he's playing him. Like, look, he's shielding the outside here. And Stokes is not worried about what's going on with the running back at all. And Amos doesn't fight at all. He gets his butt kicked, doesn't even try to run through it. And then there's all this space. And it's just too easy. It's like the easiest touchdown in the history of all time.
Right. Jeez.
I mean, it's not even close. That wasn't even a good pass. But it
didn't have to be. It was just like
part of the problem is that these guys the calls are just weird. Like when they play man, we watched earlier in the year where they played a man, but then also like a zone concept or whatever it was, where they called the play that in the middle of the field, it's run differently than it is in the end zone. And then and then Stokes and King didn't switch because King was playing slot and remember that? And then there was a guy wide open in the corner for a touchdown because Stokes went with him thinking it was man when you're inside the red zone, but it's a zone call when you're in the regular field. And now in this play, when they call man and they leave up all that space, it just makes no sense. And you're giving up too many easy things. And the Packers, on the other hand, don't do stuff like this in the red zone. They don't give themselves room. They spread the defense out, right?
Yeah, and then they don't even
there's no open space to go to.
And on top of that, they spread out, and then they don't even run in-cutting routes that would make it easier for your quarterback, an easier pass. They spread out and then try to throw it drop it way in on the sideline just before you can, be out of the end zone. Like, what the hell is that? Why make it so hard on your quarterbacks and your receivers? It's dumb. Do the simple stuff that works.
Right. The smartest thing is bring everybody in.
Oh my God.
And then if the defense decides to protect deep, then you change it to a run up the gut and you kill them. And if the defense tries to stop the run up the gut, then you do some sort of out route or a combination route, double slant, or a scissor route or whatever, where one guy picks the other guy and he's open because you have all that space out there. But you take advantage of what the defense is doing to you. Joe Burrow came up and he was like, wow, this is going to be the easiest touchdown I ever threw in my life. And it was. And the Packers defense does dumb stuff. And the Packers offense doesn't do the smart stuff to put themselves in an advantage, give themselves an advantage in that situation. They make it harder because they spread everybody out and sit in shotgun with no running back in the backfield. You think the defense knows it's a pass? Pretty sure they know it's a pass.
And on top of that, like, so I don't know if you caught the comment. I think it was after I think it wasn't after this game. It was after a previous game, and the Packers had run a route to Devontae Adams as one of the many, but it was late in the game, and then Rodgers went to him like before they ran their next play because I think there was a timeout or something, and he's like, "What do you want, a slant here?" And Devontae was like, "No, I want to go. I want to stem him and go outside on him." And so is that also they're giving the receivers too much latitude to like say, hey, no, I don't want to run that slant. I'm going to run this stuff. And it's compounding the problem. Look, it's great watching.
Wait a minute. Wait. Say that again.
So it was the previous game. It was like on some call. It wasn't a red zone call, but it was still an important play because I think they needed a first down, and it was a play they completed because they made a crazy throw and a crazy catch. Great, grand, wonderful. But Rodgers,
you're telling me that LaFleur called the play, and then Rodgers said, "Hey, Devontae, what do you want to do? Because we're going to do whatever the hell we want."
I don't think it was exactly that. I think it was an option.
It sounds like what you're telling me is what happened.
I think it was an option play, and I think it was a play where he was like, "Hey, what do you want here for your?" Because I think they give him the option on certain looks, and Adams was working against the same guy, And Rodgers said, what do you want here? A slant, because he wanted to go to a slant because it would make sense. And in that particular instance, it would have. And Adams was the one that said, no, I want the out and blah, blah, blah to make it way harder. I'm just saying, why are they? I love watching Devontae Adams make crazy catches too, and Aaron Rodgers make amazing throws. But it doesn't have to be so damn hard.
I don't enjoy it because
make the
half the
easy
time it doesn't
throw,
work.
The easy throw and the easy catch.
Because I just showed you 2 plays earlier where Rodgers is waiting for Devontae to do his crazy route to get open, and he doesn't get open, and then we throw the ball away. And then on the other side of the field, there's a route combination going on that gets a guy open. So if they just run the goddamn play the way it's supposed to, and he gets the ball out in rhythm to the guy he's supposed to go to, instead of looking to his buddy all the goddamn time, you wonder why we have so many stalls, everybody? Packer fans? That's why. Because we're letting our number one awesome receiver, greatest receiver in the league, do whatever the crap he wants, and we throw it to him 100 times a game. That's stupid.
Matt LaFleur keeps singing his praises all the time, too.
I know.
He hardly says crap about Rodgers now. He barely even says Rodgers' name after games. He'll say our quarterback a lot. So I don't know what's going on with that. But he sits there and loves up Devontae Adams like, oh, my God.
Devontae is all pissy and whiny and mad about his contract. So they got to keep saying good things about him. That's why they're saying good things about him.
Please, dude.
And if they sign him back, I will freaking blow my top. I will not be a Packer fan. I don't even care. No, I'm serious. I'm not a fan of this team.
You can't be not be a Packer fan.
This ain't a team. It's 2 guys. It's Rodgers to Devontae Adams over and over and over. Somebody's like, Devontae Adams has a 92 PFF grade. He has got the highest yards per route run in the NFL. Well, no shit. The guy gets 100,000 balls thrown to him. Of course he's going to have a lot of yards per route run. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. You know who's got the lowest yards per route run? Robert Tonyan, because he never gets the ball thrown to him. He's probably got 0.0 yards, 0.00012 yards per route run because the guy never gets the ball.
I'm just thinking about people who are. I'm just thinking about Packers fans who, anyone who might see the show has never seen it before. They're probably like, "What the hell? We're 4-1. These guys are bitching about all this stuff."
But we should be better than this.
I know.
We barely squeaked out a victory here. We had to go to overtime because our field goal kicker sucked. And if we would have lost, and if everybody's like, it's okay, it's just basic crap. I mean, once in a while, he'll miss 3 field goals in a game. It happens. Oh, really? That's okay? I don't think it is. We watched a punter suck for 3 years, and he sucked. And finally, now we got a punter who doesn't suck. He had 1 bad punt in this game, but otherwise he has had good punts all year. There's a difference between a guy who's good and a guy who's not so good. Mason Crosby does not have a strong enough leg to kick the ball out of the end zone on kickoffs. That would save us on kickoff coverage because our kickoff coverage sucks. Why does it suck? Because our kicker can't kick the goddamn ball into the freaking out of the end zone. Why? Because he's 100 years old and he looks like he's 100 years old with his gray hair. He missed freaking 3 goddamn field goals that were easy. One of them was easier than dog piss, and he still missed. Our freaking block protection on field goals sucks. As you pointed out, we got to put Tyler Lancaster in there or whatever. All this kind of stuff, which you think you got video of yet. You got to show that.
It was bad.
But what I'm saying is, it's hard to be a fan, but then also I know I love a lot of the guys on this team. I really do. And to think that we're doing it without Zadarius Smith, without without
Jair
Alexander, Jenkins, Bakhtiari, it's like, holy crap! Like all these guys are out. Like when you look at the Madden team, by the way, and I know I'm bringing up Madden again, but for the new Madden game, it's like all of our highest rated guys are all out. Like when I go to play a game, it's like I don't got the bar. Like my offensive line has got like a 62, a 61 rating, a 60 rating. You know what I'm saying? Like they all suck. It's like Billy Turner's got a 62. The best guy is Lukey Patrick's got a 68. He's the best offensive lineman that's not hurt that can start on the Packers offensive line right now. Also, on defense, our corners all suck. They all got 72, 73, 68, 66, 60, other than Jair, because he's hurt. Holy crap. Our defensive line, they all suck. Except for Kenny Clark. Apparently he's supposed to be good. I don't know. He played okay this game. But it's and I'm sorry I'm losing my mind. But it's just like, but I love Robert Tonyan. The guy's freaking awesome. I love Aaron Jones. How would you like to be Alan Lazard or Robert Tonyan? where you alter every play. You play 50, 60 plays a game.
Mm-hmm.
You block your butt off. You do all you can, and you get the ball thrown to you one time the whole game.
Yeah.
And the other guy gets the ball thrown to him 20 times a game. And if it's a play that doesn't involve a route, he kind of takes it off. He doesn't do anything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yet the other guys have to pretend or have to work as hard on every single play like they're going to get the ball just so that Devontae can get the ball. Or so that other guys can get good yards and when they block on running plays and stuff. But they have to work hard every play, though Devontae doesn't have to work hard every play. That's just something I don't like. I don't like it. So I got a video to show, but if you want to add on to what I'm talking about, go ahead. Or if you want to shoot me down, that's fine too.
I don't want to shoot you down. It's true. Okay, look, you can't argue with Devontae Adams' production in the fact that he makes a bunch of great plays. He played really well this game, and I gave him a lot of credit after the game. He had to do because it wasn't working. Like they were attacking the short stuff. They didn't have the threat of MVS. I pointed this out before, and I told this to some other people too. And so, like, those corners were all over him. And that Uze guy was freaking awesome. I was like, holy crap, you look great. But Adams, then they adjusted what they were doing. And they had him go over the middle a whole bunch. And he made tough catches over the middle. And he got hit by linebackers. And he got hit on almost every play that he made a catch. Receivers don't necessarily usually like getting tackled. But he got tackled almost every time he made a catch. So I gave him some credit for that, okay? But this is not sustainable. This distribution of passes to one guy, no matter how awesome you think he is, it's not sustainable. And it's only going to get harder. The better defenses the Packers play, it's going to be more difficult. Okay? So they have to diversify. They have, like, I don't know what the deal is. You know, I don't know if they're I don't know if it's Rodgers and coaches trying to appease Adams because he's so pissed because he didn't get a contract. I don't know if it's because it feels like it is. It feels like this is not just Rodgers. It feels like it's also coaches, you know, and LaFleur making a very concerted effort to make sure that Adams gets his, you know, and it's just way too much and it's not going to end well. We get up against a top flight defense. It's not going to end well. Okay. We get up against a really smart defensive coach. It's not going to go well. And the one thing I worry about, especially with this much right now, is when they run into one of those games and Adams is being doubled. And if he's doubled and covered tight, Rodgers is not going to throw it there. What's he going to do? How's he
drive's going to stall out? The drive is going to stall out.
How is Devontae Adams going to react to not getting the ball? I know he's not going to try. I don't think he's going to react well. I think in other years, when he was under contract and happy, he would be fine and deal with it. I think in this year where he knows he's playing for a big contract, if not with the Packers, with somebody else, if he's not getting his numbers and getting the ball, I don't think he's going to react well, especially after how much he's gotten fed so far. So
I know he was not happy because he made a comment after the game where Aaron Jones had 4 touchdowns.
Right.
He made a comment about, Aaron Jones got 4 touchdowns. And then somebody asked him last week how he only had 1 touchdown so far this year. And he was like, well, touchdowns, they come and blah, blah, and blah, 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 blah. Well, part of the thing is, dude, you try to go one-on-two all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's do a route combination for you.
Yeah.
Like his one touchdown that he had. His one touchdown that he had before this week was the one where he pretended like he was running, doing in motion, and then just came back and caught the ball and scooted in the end zone easy. That could have been an easy touchdown for anybody. You can't tell me Devontae. Do I have any footage of Devontae quitting in mid-play? I have. Zero's asking. Zero, I got to play for you, buddy. I got to play for you. It's not quitting. It's not quitting. I'm not saying he quits.
Just plays where he doesn't do anything.
You're saying where he just doesn't do anything because the play doesn't go to him. And you might say, well, that's fine. I mean, it's not going to his side or whatever it is. That's not it. Let's show you here. I want to show you one more defense.
You got one? Okay. Zero also asked real quick, and I'll address that while you pull it up. He just said, should we have gone hard for Stephon Gilmore and I
Man.
did my fireside chat. Like I would have loved it. But I think that ship was sunk once they signed Kevin King. So the Kevin King mistake comes back to bite the Packers in the ass again.
Yeah,
So
that
anyway,
was
but we
the
are
dumbest-
excited. We are excited about Jalen Smith. He could be a difference maker on this defense once he gets in there.
Could be, but you know what? Chris Barnes had a awesome freaking sack where he ran right through the running back and sacked Joe Burrow and the running back at the same time.
Well, yeah, because they signed Jalen Smith. Now he just knows he's going to
So now
lose
he's
his
worried
job.
about it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here, this is the Joe Mixon rushing touchdown, and
Oh,
what I want to show is part of the problem with the red zone defense.
what in the hell is this?
Okay, just hang on. Part of the problem is the guys that they have in the game. Okay. Now, let me ask you a question. Okay. Based on what we got here, the strong side of the formation is here. This is your tight end, right?
Clearly,
Yet our defensive line is all 1, 2, 3 here, and they have all the gaps covered, right? Here's a gap covered. Here's a gap covered. Outside gap covered. Gap covered. Gap covered. Here we got an issue, but we have 2 guys, but they're way off the ball.
Is this dime
But this
personnel? There's only one linebacker. There's only one linebacker other than the outside linebackers who are.
Well, it's
Okay.
3-3.
Okay, yeah,
whatever.
I got you. Right, because you got the 2 outside guys.
You got 2 outside, and they're
Mhm.
neither of them are Gary or Preston. Okay, it's 54 who was like
Right.
Hamilton or whatever, and 53 who is Garvin, right?
Yep.
And then you got Kenny Clark over here, and you got Lancaster and Lowry here. Okay, but it doesn't matter what any of these guys are doing over here because the play is going over here. Okay,
As it should, as you would expect it to.
here's the other problem. This is your tight end. Okay.
Yep.
It's obviously this is a zone call, and the reason why I say it's a zone call is because you don't see it, but Adrian Amos is lined up over here on the slot receiver. Why Adrian Amos will be lined up on a slot receiver over here, and on this side we have Chandon Sullivan and Jean Charles, who is like 160 pounds soaking wet, covering a tight end and a 6'5" Higgins over here. I do not know. And then the running back, right? And then you have Savage and you have Campbell, who's covering this. He's got to be on this side because he's covering this gap, but he's also looking for the running back. But it doesn't matter because the running play goes over here. Okay? And you're going to have a free guy. It's going to be John Charles, and he falls down and looks like a ding-dong. But my question is, we have a 5'9", 160-pound guy covering a 6'5" guy, and we have a 5'10", 189-pound guy covering 87 tight end. And then over here, we have a wide receiver, Boyd, covered by Amos, who's slower than crap, and Boyd is a quick, shifty guy. That's a problem.
Before you do anything else, let me just say one. I mean, there's one quick fix on this alignment. You take the outside backer 54, Hamilton or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And he should be inside shoulder of the tight end in that gap.
Right here. Yeah.
Yeah, because right now.
Yeah, but then
no, but just
right
listen.
now,
because right now you have it's either that or you take Savage out of the middle and you put him like head up on the tight end.
Savage should be here
because nobody like you could.
But he's got to worry about the 2 slants on this side.
You could run a pop pass to the tight end right here for like which is just like tight
right
end
here.
just pops up and you just shoot it right there. It's touchdown.
Yeah.
Or you could run it between the tight end and tackle gap right here because they both have leverage. Look, you have the tackle has leverage to the outside here
and here,
and they could just create a big old hole between the tight end and the
then
tackle.
he goes here and then boom,
and it's done.
And this gets shield off, and Shannon's got to try to fight through here to get over here, and he'll probably miss a tackle, and then there'll be a touchdown. And that's the thing. That's probably where the play should have went, but it doesn't even go there. Let's see what happens.
There's like 3 simple touchdown plays right here.
I mean, he could have easily gone right here.
That's where he should go. It's a huge hole. What
like Aaron Jones would have just went there.
That's a touchdown.
Yeah. But he doesn't do that. And maybe he's gonna.
Give credit to outside backer. He closed down on that. Okay.
Yeah, but the problem is he leaves if he's outside contain.
Right. Then he
are you telling me that now Chandon Sullivan's outside contain? Or is John?
It'd have to be John
this
Charles.
guy, the 160-pound guy.
Yep, he's got to come up and fill that. Go get that Joe Mixon at a. Oh no.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's what happened. And look at here, Chandon Sullivan got his butt blocked by a huge wide receiver and everybody's trailing on the play and even tries to kick him. Look,
Oh, should have got flagged for it.
he should have.
Oh no, it's not.
Look at that. He tried to trip him. It didn't matter. And that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about.
That's bad.
Do you think Jean Charles is your best option there?
No.
I would say Yadam would be better. I would say put Shannon Sullivan over on the slot receiver and put Amos at least on the tight end. At least he'd be able to hold up against the block a little better than Shannon Sullivan did against the wide receiver.
Well,
but no.
You're also right about the personnel being the wrong personnel. Look at who's in the game. So what are you worried about? Like generally when you're going to have a defensive back cover a tight end, you want better coverage, right? You're concerned about, making sure that guy can stick with them. When you're that close to the end zone, that tight end's not going to outrun anybody. He's not going to outrun your linebacker, right? No. There's not enough field for him to outrun the linebacker. So get a bigger guy in there that can
out-muscle a little guy.
Yeah. So the personnel's a problem. Like you need another linebacker there.
I would rather see 2 corners or 1 corner at the most, and then have Barnes and Campbell and now Jalen Smith out there. Put 3 inside linebackers out there. Take John Charles off there. Take Savage out of there. That's another guy. Savage is not good in the red zone. He doesn't come up and challenge on running plays ever. And he never seems to know what he's doing covering in the back of the end zone either. I would rather have Amos back there in the back because I've seen Amos make a couple of picks in that back of the end zone. Okay, mostly they're against Mitch Trubisky. So I know those, maybe it's Mr. Trubisky. But still, Amos seems to do a better job playing deep safety in the end zone, right? Get Savage the hell out of there in the red zone. Put in a couple linebackers and have them cover the tight end and the slot receiver or whatever and the running backs, and it'll stop the run a lot better. They take up more space. They might be able to challenge, not get beat up by a tight end. It's just the problem is like number 1, play call. Number 2, guys who are on the field, like personnel. There's a lot of dumb things going on in the red zone with the Packers. It's not just like the players suck. They do. But they're getting out-schemed, and they're playing the wrong guys in there. Simple as that.
Yeah, that was bad alignment. That was bad personnel. You did not have a chance for success. The defense didn't have a chance for success based on the personnel and the alignment there in the call. There's no. Yeah. We just told you in that still there were 3 easy ways that Bengals could get a touchdown. You just pick one. Not hard. I mean, Jesus.
So what will we do? Will the Packers adjust? No.
I sure hope so.
And we're losing guys left and right. We don't have Jair. We don't have Kevin King. So is John Charles going to be in there getting his butt kicked and falling and tripping on his face in the red zone? Because that's going to keep happening. They're going to just run at him. They're going to I don't get it.
So there was no other receiver to the outside of Higgins, right?
No.
Well, what in the hell? It doesn't make any sense, dude. And on top of that, with the injuries at corner, I don't understand this fascination with playing all the little guys, especially when you're getting in the red zone. Like like I said, you need to stop him from getting to the goal line. There's not that much room for a running back to outrun your linebacker. There's not that much room for a tight end to outrun your linebacker, but they can sure outmuscle your little guys. So get your freaking linebackers on the field when you're inside the 10, 15, whatever. And you have a better chance at least. That's got to change. Personnel's got to change. You got to be smarter.
Yeah.
I mean, Zero's talking about Barry, and I don't know. Like Barry's done some better stuff, and I liked some of the things they did where they brought pressure.
He's at least changing the press. He's not doing the same just run 4 guys all the time. He's sending guys a little bit more. Like I saw Shannon Sullivan go on a blitz in this game. Though he sucks at blitzing, they shouldn't blitz him, but at least they're sending somebody. They're trying something. And then Barnes had the sack on his blitz. So they're doing things differently. I think they need to keep doing that, but they should pressure like a certain area of the offensive line instead of like sending a guy over here and a guy over here. Like send 3 guys like we showed last week with the Packers who couldn't handle, when the offensive linemen have to make a choice and make the offensive line make a mistake by choosing wrong. And then one of the 3 gets through and the other guys drop back and cover and help out. and maybe it leaves an open spot for somebody to run, but you've got guys now who dropped in coverage in like a shallow zone who can then take away that running quarterback. And those are the things you're going to have to worry about when we play against guys like coming up this week against Fields, who actually, though it's weird, he doesn't run much. Like, I'm surprised because I have in fantasy, I don't start him, but like he never runs. Like, it's weird.
Yeah, he's probably got instructions not to because they don't want him to get destroyed. But hey, so two quick things about the defense before we move on. And this kind of relates. There's a couple of things that just stuck out in my mind. I noticed on it, and I don't have footage of it, but you have to trust me on it. One is the Packers defenders. So you know how a lot of teams, okay, and we talked about this before, other games where the Packers would just be like, everybody's trying to beat their guy, we run one-on-one, and nobody's doing stunts and loops and helping each other out. And then we watch the other team against the Packers offensive line either overload a side like Ben was saying, or they line up with a bunch of guys and then three come from one side, and only one guy comes from the other side, and then your offensive line can't adjust and is overwhelmed. Or they run stunts. They run like loops, right? Or you can call it a number of different things. It's like a loop. It's a whatever. There's different ways to phrase it, but it's basically where either the outside guy crashes in and the inside guy loops around to get a free rush or a better rush, or reverse that and the inside guy goes out and the outside guy loops around him on the inside and can try to get pressure and beat a guy on the inside. Okay. So the Packers need to relearn how to do that stunt, because in this game, multiple times, in this last game, multiple times, they had both inside guys going, it appeared like they were going to the outside, and then both outside linebackers, Preston, and I think both times this happened, the two times I'm thinking of, where it was Gary and it was also Preston Smith on the field, they both just stayed outside.
On 4th and 2 and 3rd and 2, and then Joe Burrow just runs up the middle. Yeah, I know.
And they kind of, you could see the looping action. They kind of started to come in, but they never pursued. They never fought through anything. And so it ended up having like four guys like this together, two guys here and two guys here. Stupid. And that's where they were rushing, a giant hole in the middle, no pressure on the outside. I was like, you guys need to relearn how to do that stunt, number one.
Well, the other thing is you don't do the same stunt on both sides. You do a stunt on one side, and the other side just do a straight up route, because that otherwise you're giving up too many escape routes for the quarterback. You just stunt on one side. You don't do a double stunt. It's dumb. Unless you have freaks like the Bosa or like TJ Watt or whatever. Then you can do, if you have two of those guys, well, okay, yeah, then you could probably do a double stunt, because one of them, or if not both of them, are going to get there. But with the Packers, do a stunt on one side, have the other side have the guys just kind of hold the fort and make sure the quarterback doesn't sneak out that way, so he's got nowhere to go, and then that stunt will work. But if you do double stunts, it just leaves the big holes all over the place, up the middle, to the outsides, everywhere, if the guys don't get home.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know.
There's a specific way you need to do that. I mean, the guys should basically be on top of each other. So the one guy cuts in front to draw, that in either the inside blocker or the outside blocker in. And then the other guy should literally be right off his tail. So he doesn't actually engage with the blocker first. He takes an outside step and then cuts in, or he takes an inside step and cuts out, and actually just runs into the back of his own guy and scrapes off that. That's how you're supposed to run that stunt. That's why I'm saying the Packers need to relearn how to run that stunt properly. Number two, the other thing is offensive linemen generally stay in the same area because they don't want to vacate for like a late blitzer or something. So when you do that, when you overload a side, it's super effective. But the Packers never do it. We never see them overload one side of the offensive line or another. And it's always four guys, and these two guys go this way, and these two guys stay on this side, and that's it. And I just neither of those things are helping their pass rush. They're really holding back their pass rush right now.
And I just want to say something. It's not like all bad. I think,
but
considering a lot of our stars are out and we're still winning games and we're still doing, I thought Stokes got beat a couple times, but he also made a couple good tackles. He got his face in there. There's one play where he had perfect coverage on Jamar Chase, and Burrow threw a perfect back shoulder on 3rd down, and there's nothing he could do. I mean, it was perfect coverage. It was a first down because it was a great pass, and Jamar Chase was expecting the back shoulder pass. But Stokes had great coverage on the play. And, what more can you do? Devondre Campbell's everywhere. He seems to be making tackles. He's running around doing crazy stuff.
Yep.
Like, guys are making plays and things are happening. Gary made a play. Somebody got their hand up, knocked down a ball one time. I can't remember who it was. Dean Lowry or somebody. Yeah. Like, guys are doing.
He had a pretty good game.
Yeah, they're doing stuff. So I don't want to make it be like all negative. It's just that when you have a stat like that, where every time a team gets in the red zone, you've given up a touchdown this season. And it goes back to last year, but I don't want to talk about that. I'm talking about just this year. They've given up a touchdown every single time. That's really bad, especially for a team who can't seem to get off the field. Like, how many big, long drives do we give up too? So not only are we giving up these big, long, huge drives, last year we'd do the same thing, but we'd hold them in the end zone. We'd kick it. We'd stop them to a field goal every now and again. This year we haven't even done that once. And that's the concerning thing. But we have, as a defense, done more times, stopped them on third down and forced them to punt. That has happened way more this year than in the past.
Yep.
So I will give them that. And that's part of the thing that's is giving the offense and Rodgers more times with the ball. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's one good positive thing.
Yep.
So there's pluses and minuses, but we're still kind of in the same boat where the defense is still kind of like but it's a different kind of than it was last year.
Yeah, I mean, statistically, I thought I heard them say they're like top 6 or top 10 defense statistically in yards, and then some of the categories they were like up around 15 or 10. And
I don't know. I heard they were 17th against the run or 17th against the pass and 29th against the run. Is what I heard.
Oh, maybe they flashed the wrong. Maybe they flashed the wrong graphic. I don't know. Or Jonathan Bilma said it. I don't know. But anyway, the point is, they're doing some things better. Like you said, that's a great point. The third down conversion is way better, it's way better. But for years and years, we saw a Packers defense that would give up a bunch of yards and then not give up as many touchdowns, like stiffen in the red zone. Right. And this year and going back to last year a little bit, but also this year, it's just continued on and been even worse, giving up all those touchdowns. Like, that's rough. They got to fix that. The reason, look, And what we're also, it goes back to the same exact thing we were talking about on offense. Stop making it so hard. Like, right now, the only time the pass rushers are able to be successful is they have to win and beat their guy. They have to win. Make it easier for these guys. Train them up on how to run a proper stunt. Help them out. Overload a side. Give them some advantages out there. Like, let's do it. Come on. And then you can see more big plays. Then you can see more sacks. Then you can see more, maybe turnovers too. Now they got a couple, but those are the kind of things that come out of playing like that. But when you make it hard on your guys all the time, and they just have to Mike McCarthy win your one-on-one matchup all the damn time, that's hard. That's hard. You're going against guys that are good.
All right.
So, okay.
We're going to be positive for a second. I know it's hard to imagine.
Well, I was trying to just.
No, it's me. I'm the one who's been cranky.
I was just trying to explain, like, that's where we're coming from, right? We want it to be easier.
Actually, we're going to start negative, though.
No.
Yeah. I want you to watch something very important here. This is the awesome Aaron Jones run that should have saved the game, but if it wasn't for Mason Crosby sucking up the joint. Okay, Aaron Jones is the man. But we're not going to watch Aaron Jones. We know how awesome he is. We're going to watch Randall Cobb, and we're going to watch Devontae Adams on this play. And watch the difference between their body language, their effort on a play that doesn't go to them. Let's just take a look and see. Okay. Randall Cobb has his hands up, ready to block a guy because he knows it's a run. Devontae Adams has his arms down, and he's probably telling this guy right now, it's a run, don't worry about it. It's not even coming over here. He's probably telling that guy right now. But watch Randall Cobb. He's blocking this guy. Now let's watch what happens now.
Oh, look at Lucas. Okay. Yeah.
Now, offensive line, who's this? Is that Lukey?
Yeah, he went and got Logan Wilson right away.
Okay, he got Logan Wilson and took him out.
And Runyon's down here, but getting that guy cleaned up, sort of.
Royce Newman and Billy Turner are slapping it up. Now, we know Aaron Jones made this guy miss. This guy blitzed right down, and Jones made a miss. It was awesome.
Yep.
And this, I don't know if Lazard is blocking really great, or if this guy just don't want to.
He's a corner.
I think he does. I think it's that Trey Waynes or whatever, and he just doesn't want to. He just like, I don't want to care, because I don't think Lazard can hold the block this long, because he holds it for a long time. But let's watch this. Look at this. Look at Randall Cobb looking back, see what happened with the running back. Alan Lazard looking back, see what's happening with the running back, right? Look at Devontae's body language here. Well, just hang on, everybody. And I know what you're going to say. Well, he's way over there. What can he possibly do? Well, Randall Cobb is way over here. What can he possibly do?
Right? Well, just before you start it, look at Devontae, right? Now, he had the corner over him. Okay, fine. He's not doing anything. But there's a safety back here that if everybody else is manned up, that safety's a lot closer to Jones. You don't think he could get over there and try to get a piece of him?
Yeah. He could be beelining right now, straight up at that guy.
That would be helpful.
Beeline and get a block up here. You never know.
It'd be helpful.
But let's take a look.
Oh.
Okay, so now this play looks like it's probably dead, right?
Right. That's what they're all thinking, yeah.
Devontae is like, whatever. Randall Cobb is looking back like, whatever. Lukey Patrick is burying freaking this guy, which is awesome. Yash is just barely getting a piece of this dude, and Jones is sneaking past. Right?
Yep.
Now, here's a guy. Here's 21. This is the guy that was on Randall Cobb. And here's Devontae. And you're saying, well, he's way over here. Okay. Let's watch Randall Cobb. Look at that.
Go do something.
Randall Cobb is now ahead of Aaron Jones. And this was the guy who was blocking him. This was the guy that Devontae was blocking. Quotation marks, blocking. Okay, 22. I want you to remember that. And then here's Devontae, just standing there, right? But he could have sustained this block for a little bit longer, or at least pretended like it was going to be something, something, right?
Yeah, at least 22 wouldn't be in there right now if he had at least tied him up for a little bit.
Now look at this. Look at Yash. Running down here with Aaron Jones.
Oh my God! Why?
A big stink about David Bakhtiari, who ran down, but he didn't block anybody on that play. Yash blocked the guy, sealed it, got up, fell down, got up, and he's still running with Aaron Jones. Look at Lazard is trailing just in case. You never know.
Yep.
And look at Randall Cobb, all the way almost in front of Aaron Jones. He came from the other side of the field. And where's Devontae Adams? Right here at the bottom. Actually, I don't even know if that's him. It might be Billy Turner. I don't even know. Look at this. Look at Randall Cobb. Still blocking 21. And that's the guy who was on him from the beginning. But Randall Cobb is making the play downfield. And here's Devontae Adams down here. 10 yards away from the play. Here's the guy that he was supposed to be blocking. I don't know what happens with him. Probably nothing. Here you go. 94 here. Randall Cobb is still blocking. And then, Aaron Jones shoves 21 out of there. That's what I'm talking about. One of those two receivers is a captain of your football team. One of them. One of those two receivers gets 20 balls thrown his way, and man, he works hard on those 20 plays when he's going to get the ball. But when it's a play he's not going to get the ball, doesn't work quite as hard. And still, a guy had to make a guy miss and then run for 60 yards. Yeah, it says 57 yards, but he made the guy miss 3 yards in the backfield. He ran 60 yards after contact on that play. And he would not have gotten this far had Randall Cobb not busted his butt from the other side of the field in the slot and blocked his 21 all the way down as far as he could. And yeah, 21 was the guy that Aaron Jones kind of shoved out of the way and get tackled eventually at the end. But he wouldn't have even gotten that far had Randall Cobb not run down. And that's just the kind of stuff I'm showing. That was a great run by Aaron Jones. Awesome run. But you need everybody. Yash didn't quit on the play. Alan Lazard didn't quit on the play. But 17 quit on the play? Your captain? Not a fan. Sorry. What do you say, Jace?
Yeah, it's disappointing. I noticed it on some other plays too, where he just didn't do anything when the play was clearly not going to him or it's clearly a running play. And sometimes, now granted, sometimes if the defensive back and the receiver just kind of stand there and they're like, hey, if you don't do anything, I won't do anything. And then he's like, well, I'm taking my guy to the play then. We kind of have this mutual lazy agreement here. But you, as Devontae Adams, could have got up and tied him up for a second, then he wouldn't have been in pursuit. He got in pursuit and he made Aaron Jones change direction. He changed the dynamics there as well. And then the other thing that could happen is, or you could go even a step further and try to get up and get a piece of that safety, So
I don't think there was a safety though.
There was somebody back there in the middle.
Well, he never got in the play.
He kind of
21
did,
and
but
94 were the guys. No, because that was 22. That was the guy in front of Devontae. I don't know if there was
I saw-
anybody back there deep.
I thought
It's
I saw
crazy.
somebody in there.
I don't know.
but-
I don't think so.
I
But
don't know.
so
I was just look after this game. I was just so happy because Lucas played and he played well. So I
And he
wasn't
wa- and he
dwelling
was-
on a lot of
and Lukey was super pumped to be in the game, and like
heck yeah.
and that's the thing. That's the difference between a true captain, like a real leader of men. You know what I'm saying? Like a guy who should be captain and a guy who is captain. Like Randall Cobb should be captain. Devontae shouldn't. Sorry. Lukey Patrick should be captain, and Big Dog shouldn't. Sorry. And Big Dog tries, but I've shown you where he just doesn't block guys on time. You know, he doesn't give a. I mean, he cares, but
He does.
and the dumbest part is like Larry McCarron makes a big thing. He's like, "This is my favorite play of the game," and he breaks down the Big Dog screen pass. I'm like, really? That's the best play of the game? That's your favorite play of the game? That Aaron Jones run was freaking amazing.
Yeah.
He made a blitzer miss. He made another guy miss, and then he shoved the dude at the end. You can't tell me that wasn't awesome.
And it was an answer play too, right after the Bengals had scored a
Yes.
touchdown and tied the game and got a 2-point conversion.
And if Mason Crosby wouldn't have sucked, everybody be talking about that Aaron Jones run.
They did have
But-
three guys get in like pretty much right away on that kick. But
I understand that. But, well, you got to show that yet. Don't you have video of that? But what I'm
I
saying
had
is,
some pictures, but they're kind of screwed up, but I'll figure it out.
when Mason Crosby makes the game-winning kick, and everybody
Yeah.
talks, "Oh
I
my
know.
gosh,
You're right.
Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams set up that kick, and oh my God, it was Aaron Rodgers is so amazing. He's so amazing." I'm pretty sure Aaron Jones is pretty gosh dang amazing, but because the kicker missed a field goal, nobody's talking about it,
That's what happens, man.
which
Those-
is kind of ridiculous.
You can make, I mean, a bunch of the plays that were made that should have been a made field goal kick to potentially win the game. As soon as the field goal is missed, those plays are forgotten for most people. And it sucks because those plays were still awesome and they were still incredibly made. I mean, same thing with Rodgers' pass to Adams. It should never happen. It happened 2 weeks ago. It shouldn't happen exactly the same like that to set him up with only
No.
21 seconds and no
And
time.
it was awesome.
It was great.
Not awesome.
No, but I mean, like those plays should not happen. They happened, but then he misses the field goal, and then people are like, "Well,
Yeah.
It was still an
Yeah,
awesome
but
play."
no. But the
And
problem
Jones'
was,
run was still an awesome run.
But the problem was the Packers still won the game.
Yeah.
And the thing that's so funny, everybody talk about the big dog play. They don't talk about all the fact that Aaron Rodgers got sacked on the next play, and they actually lost yardage and made the field goal harder for Mason Crosby.
Yep.
But everybody seems to forget about that. So Bernard is saying, I don't know if he's saying this because he's getting crazy or what. He wants Rodgers gone. He wants
No,
Devontae gone.
he said that a
Uh,
while ago. Before
He said Rodgers needs to get other guys going. He also says
he's changed his mind.
Rodgers
by now.
never forced the ball to Jordy Nelson. And I would say he did at times, but not nearly as much as he's forcing it to Devontae, like he does nowadays.
Different guys, though, right? I don't think Jordy was ever
But Jordy's not a me guy.
right.
Jordy has always been a team guy.
Jordy was like, "I make the plays that are there," and he wasn't screaming for the ball or crying for the ball or
No.
saying crap in the media or about his contract or anything.
And then Zero's asking why A-Rod gets so gun shy throwing to Cobb. Luckily, he didn't at the end of the game there when they really needed that.
that play too,
Without that play,
freaking
Mason Crosby
ridiculous.
wouldn't make that field goal because it wouldn't be that close. It's a great catch.
Yeah.
I mean, Randall Cobb got creamed by two dudes there.
Bad. I think it was Royce on that one too, because the inside guy got Rodgers' arm while he was trying to throw it, so it kind of wobbled in there but it got there. It got there just by the skin of the old teeth. Again, I told you a couple times they had the skin of the teeth.
And
On
Zero
this one.
saying trade A-Rod and Devontae before the deadline. I agree with one of those. I would say trade Devontae before the deadline, and I think the Packers win the Super Bowl.
Holy moly!
Yes. Unless A-Rod gets super mad about it, and then he tanks the whole team like he did in 2018 because he wanted McCarthy fired, and he threw the ball away 52 times that season, where he never threw the ball that much away in his whole career before that.
He blew up his knee in the very first game. He was injured almost that whole season, Ben. Dude, you saw that.
He wanted McCarthy gone. He tanked it and got
He
him.
could not run and get away from people for most of the season. He had to throw the ball away a whole bunch. But
All
anyway, that's an argument
Now,
for another day.
I'm not saying Devontae sucks.
No,
I only want him. I only want him traded because we don't have him after this year. So just get something for him. You know, if we can get a second round pick for him or first round pick, let's do it. Otherwise, keep him. But
Oh,
just don't force the ball to him 20 times a game.
Yeah.
Run the freaking offense and freaking kick everybody's butts.
I mean, if he's got everybody's
all.
attention now and he's drawing all of these double teams, well, great. Then other guy, you should make it easier for other guys. Again, do what's easier. Why are we got to do what's hard? I don't understand that part. Why do we want to do what's hard? Let's do what's easier. It makes football can be a beautiful thing when it's easy, right? When it's made easy.
And I'm sorry for being so negative and cranky. They're 4-1. I just think
4-1.
It should be an easier 4-1 than what it's been. That's all.
I agree with you, man. I agree with you.
Okay, hurry up and show your play because I got to go to work.
I don't know if I can. Let me see if I can find it here. If I can find the right one. I had some weird thing on these. I did it wrong, so I got to zoom in like crazy here. Watch this though.
Whoa.
It's got all your comments on here, Packers fans. It still looks okay though. There you go.
Dude,
See, okay.
did you remember the fart gun salute for the guy who got the closest victory score?
Oh, you want your fart gun salute because you had to close the score?
We got Did I?
You said 24-20.
Oh,
that was the closest. I'll give it to you. All right. So this is the
do it on Friday night. That's fine.
This is after the Mason Crosby run, or Mason Crosby run. This is after the Aaron Jones awesome run. And then the also ridiculous. This is actually the play after the ridiculous Royce Newman play that I showed you to begin our show tonight. This is the 36-yard. Oh, no, this is a 51-yard field goal attempt. My bad. God dang it. I'm all screwed up. I can't do it. I'm going to go to the video. My stupid. I did this wrong. I was doing my screen captures and I didn't realize I was going to capture all the comments and all the stuff and make my things tiny. So never mind.
Okay. Don't worry about it.
Try again next time. I'll try to be better. You know how it goes. Try to be better next time. Okay. Well, anyway, the point is on the 36-yard one, just a quick thing to point out. The 36-yard field goal attempt. Tyler, if you didn't realize, so Robert Tonyan was holding down the far right blocking spot previously. In this game, Tyler Lancaster was in that spot. So again, proof that someone on the inside of the Packers listens to our programming, because I said, take one of the biggest, fattest guys and put him on right there. And that's what they did. Smart. However, Tyler Lancaster probably hasn't been in that position for, I don't know, 15 years or more, right? Probably since he was in high school, maybe, but he was probably blocking closer at that point too. So he's never been out there. What you're supposed to do on field goal is this, right? You keep really tight splits and you lean in. So no one, and you kind of lean in and you block towards the guy inside of you. So you create this front that no one can break any of those spots between any of the players. The guys, there's going to be somebody that's going to be able to come around the outside because you're outnumbered. And that's fine. Those guys almost never get there. They almost never get there. They just can't get there in time for to block the kick. But what Tyler Lancaster did on that play, he did what Robert Tonyan did weeks before or the week before. And he just stood there and one guy went on his right side out and one guy went on his left side and they both got past him. And they were both in there. And the guy inside them between Ben Braden and the guy next to him, Braden was to the left of Lancaster, also got in there. So three guys were all coming from Mason Crosby's right side on that play. And he pulled, I think he saw all those guys coming. And when he kicked that one, he tried to pull it and sneak it, because he even pulled his leg over a little more than he normally does. And he missed it left. So that one, if you go back and watch it, I'm sorry, I didn't have it for you. I tried to have it, but anyway, three guys penetration all from the same side. Not good. Now, the next one, when they kicked the 51-yarder and tried that one right before the end of the game, protection was good. But on that 36-yard kick, the Bengals did what other teams have been doing to the Packers since this has been exposed, and they had six guys to the right of the center as you're looking at it from the Packers perspective. So six guys loaded up on that side, only four guys on the other side. And then I don't know why the other guy wasn't rushing. That makes no sense to me, but whatever. But so they overloaded and they attacked all those gaps and three guys got through on that particular field goal attempt. So this is a problem. The Packers got to clean it up. And it all comes down to basics and fundamentals again of field goal blocking, which is you protect your inside, keep tight splits, and you always protect your inside. If the guy gets around the outside guy on the outside, probably not going to be a problem. They just can't get there fast enough. If you put a little bit fatter guy on the outside, they got to go a little further around, and that's helpful too. So there you go. Just wanted to point that out.
It helps to be fat.
So a lot of these things that we talked about tonight and got upset about, it's really like fundamental stuff. It's basics football, fundamental stuff that the Packers can fix. Very fixable by just a little bit of training, just a little refreshing, just a little bit of coaching and players working on a couple of techniques, a couple of fundamentals and basic rules of football. And all of these plays, not all of them, but a number of the plays have been kind of sketchy, are cleaned up. So that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see from this coaching staff and this team. And we'll talk about the Bears on Friday. But that's what I want to see is cleaning up some of those basic fundamental mistakes that they've been making that have caused, some of these things to not look so great. That's all I got for you.
All right. Sounds good. Let's call it a night. I got to go to work.
All right. Go to work. Don't be a jerk. Happy Wednesday.
No, I can't count it. I can't promise that.
Packers are 4-1, leading the division, in good shape. We'll be chatting with you on Friday night.
Bears time.
Yep. Packer Bear Week should be fun. Oh, wait, Fart Gun Salute before you go. I'll be back.
No, we'll do it on Friday. I got to go to work. Oh, my God. This guy doesn't listen to anything.
For Ben, because he got the closest score, 24-20. That's what he said. It was 25-22. Pretty good. How did you come up with 24-20, Ben? Tell people quick all you thought.
Because I knew that the Packers were not going to score as many points.
Why did you think that?
Because I knew they were going to throw to Devontae Adams 27 times. I didn't see Mason Crosby. Ooh. That sounded like a